Hello all, welcome back. I am Swapnil from LVH College, Panchwati Nashik, Department of English, and I and my HOD Dr. KR Nikam. We are making this video for SYBSC optional English classes, and today we are going to discuss a very beautiful poem by Rabindranath Tagore, that is where the mind is without fear. As we all know that Rabindranath Tagore is the only Indian who has been awarded with Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. And so he was awarded Nobel Prize for Literature for his beautiful understanding of human life, his concern for nation, and the way he has, particularly in this poem, in this collection of poems Gitanjalee, the relation between the god and man, and most importantly the very famous poet of English literature W.B. Yeats. He has written a preface to the Gitanjali. Now, most of the poems of Gitanjali have been translated by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore is also known as the Bard of Bengal, where he is considered as their finest poet dramatist, a kind of a Shakespeare of Bengal. And this poem, where the mind is without fear, is translated, originally written in Bengal. The title of that poem was Chitto Jetha Bhay Shunyo, where there is no fear. Where there is no fear. Chitto Jetha Bhay Shunyo. So here, so many people consider Rabindranath Tagore as a poet who wrote for all humanity. Although he was an Indian writer, but he was concerned about the contemporary human society, be it slavery, be it colonization. Therefore, he felt in this poem he addresses the total free society where every human being is free to do whatever he or she wants, and the society would be based on the science, not the old superstitious or old traditional beliefs. Therefore, if you read this poem, although it is to awaken the feeling of freedom among the countrymen, because at that time Bengal means, if you study the history of Indian freedom struggle, you would find that Bengal was very aggressive towards the British colonization or towards the British rule. Why? Because Bengal was the capital of British rule. Later on it got shifted. I think it got shifted in around 1912 or something like that to Delhi. So Bengal was very aggressive, and so many freedom fighters, they hailed from Bengal. So means even there were so many people in the formation of Congress in 1885. So naturally Rabindranath Tagore, he was inspired by this freedom struggle, and he wrote a poem. But this is not the poem about only India. This poem you can relate to any part of the world which is under the rule or the society is not forward looking. This is a kind of an appeal to the God, that what he is praying to the God for the whole humanity, and what he is asking in return, he is not asking anything for himself. He is asking to the God that God must ignite the feelings of scientific approach, the feelings of humanity, the feelings of unity, the feelings of working hard among the people. And then only they would be able to establish what he called as haven of freedom or heaven on this earth. To establish a heaven on this earth, it is in the hands of human beings. So this is a kind of a very brief introduction of this very short poem of about 8 to 9 lines, but this is the most beautiful poem, and what I would rather suggest to all of you is that you must read all the poems of Gitanjali. This is 35th poem of Gitanjali. There are so many beautiful poems like this. So let us start. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. He is actually praying to the God. He is asking for a country, and which country he wants from the God. That is therefore the poem. Every line of the poem starts with where. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. Means people, they would not scare. They would not scare of any king. They would not scare of any rule. They would not scare of anybody. And their head, it would be held high. Means they would be very proud of their own country. They would be proud of whatever they are doing. So he wants that kind of a country where people are fearless, where the mind is without fear. Means people, they are not scared. That's what in Bengali he says, bhay shunyo, without fear. Bhay shunyo means people they would not be scared of anything, be it of religious freedom, be it of freedom of the country, be it of expression of thought. He was imagining that kind of a country where knowledge is free. See, now we all are aware that in our country, pre-independence era, the deprived section of our country, means mostly the erstwhile untouchables or the Dalits and the Adivasis, and most of the OBC section or the deprived section of our society, they were not allowed education. Therefore they did not have that kind of a knowledge, and therefore our society was very superstitious. Therefore he is asking what? Where knowledge is free, where knowledge is free for everyone. It is not restricted only to one community or to the higher class or to the educated class or to the rich people. No, knowledge is free for everyone, be it a poor man or be it a rich man. That he is asking from the God. Where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Now here what he's saying that Tagore was very well aware of the harsh reality of Indian society. What Indian society was, and in a bit today, that we are divided into the castes borders, we are divided into the language borders, and we have built up a kind of walls around ourselves or our society where we do not jump over that wall. Therefore he is saying the world has not been broken up into the fragments by narrow domestic walls, where people, they would be free to mingle with one another, where they are not confined to the domestic walls of religion, domestic walls of language, domestic walls of region. Therefore if you read the history of India, or mostly the post-independent India, you would find that Nehru was against of The states made on the basis of language. He had opposed linguistic states because of he had that kind of a feeling that people they would be separated, they would not have that feeling of unity once we make the states on the basis of language. So where words come out from the depth of truth, the country where words come out from the depth of truth means people they are not afraid of speaking truth, and the truth they are speaking about it is the well studied and scientific argument. It is not based on the tradition, it is not based on the custom, it is not based on the superstition. In the depth means well researched, well studied truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where people are very hard working, where very honest, and they all are working together to move forward their country. We were why we went into the colonization, why so many people they came to India, they attacked India and they ruled over us, because we were not united society, we were divided society. We were divided on the basis of caste, we were divided on the basis of language. So people were not divided, so it was very easy for the foreign rulers to rule over us. Therefore he is asking, no, people they must come together, people they must work hard, where knowledge should be free, where truth should be free, and people they must work hard for the progress of their own country. They must come together, they must build their nation unitedly. That's what he's saying, where tireless striving means work hard, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where everyone comes together and they work very very hard, and people are not afraid of this, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert stand of dead habit. What he is saying, that reason means logic, where people they must think logically. There has to be a scientific thinking, because science demands reason behind everything. Therefore Newton had thought, why this apple fell down, why not this apple went up? That was the reason. He was in search of a reason. So if something is happening, there has to be some reason behind it. Means what he is asking from the citizens of India, that they must let go their old superstitious beliefs, that if the black cat crosses your way, you must step you must go back, you must go 5 steps back. That was the superstitious belief. If you are going out and if someone asks you where are you going, then that is a kind of that people believe that now their work would not happen. This is a kind of a superstition people they believe. Therefore he says that there has to be, people must have scientific temperament. People must ask, why I should not do this, why I should go 5 steps backwards when mind is led forward by thee. Thee means here God, you, into ever widening thought and action. People must think progressively. That forget about the past. Now we have to build a nation Therefore people, they must come together, people, they must work hard very honestly. Why come together? Because we have to fight not only with the foreign rulers that was British, but with our own society, with our own traditional superstitious beliefs. And for that we must break down the walls we have created, the walls of language, the walls of castes, the walls of superstitious beliefs. Therefore we have been considered as backward. We must accept the science, we must believe in the humanity, we must believe that all, each and every Indian, he is one, and we are not divided. There is no such high class, there is no such low class, and there has to be a progressive thought, a thought that will lead our country. Therefore ever widening thought and action. Why action? Because action is required. It is not only necessary that you should think scientifically, you should also implement that scientific thought into your own personal life. That was he asking, into that haven of freedom. Because people are free only in the heaven. There are no such kind of barriers, there isn't some kind of what restrictions, dividation, anything. Therefore he's saying, into that haven of freedom. People, in every religion, people, they think, okay, I want to go into the heaven, I want to go into the Jannat. But why not all the human beings, they think that let us build heaven or that Jannat on this earth, because earth is the most beautiful place. And therefore he's saying, my father, let my country awake. So I want, means people are sleeping, the people, Indian people, they are sleeping. So you must breathe into them these thoughts. He's praying to the God, my father, let my country awake, let awake my country, because they are sleeping. And they must, when they would awake, they must have this thought. Which thought? Progressive thinking, knowledge. Knowledge should be free for everyone. They must break down the walls of caste, society, rich, poor, and they all must unite, come together and fight not only for their country, for the freedom, but afterwards work for the development of their country. Therefore he is saying that where the mind is without fear, unless and until this thing happen in any of the country on this land, it is not only about India, any of the country on this planet, you would not find a very developed society, you would not find that haven of freedom. Because freedom is something that human beings strive for. We are born freedom, we are born free. We cannot live under any of the influence, because we are human beings, means all animals, they are free. So people should be free of doing whatever they want. So this is a very beautiful poem. What do you think about this poem? Please let me know in the comment section. If you have liked my presentation, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.